Hello and welcome to another episode of Wannabe Entrepreneur. And today I want to do a build in public session with you. I want to build the Wannabe Entrepreneur podcast, blog, and website. And I figured that it would be interesting content and also that a website is kind of crucial for everyone. So I want to share my method and the tools I use to build this website. The primary reason why I'm building this is because I want to get a recurrent source of new users for the podcast. And the best way to do that is with SEO. So I want people to go to Google and search for bootstrapping, for searching for entrepreneurship, startup, podcast, and find my podcasts in the first results. So to do this, of course, I need a blog. And the best way to do that, from my knowledge, is to use Hugo, which is a static site generator, and it's really nice because you can write your content in Markdown and then it converts to HTML. And it's basically also the same stack that I'm using for the Change It website. I already spoke about it in previous episodes, and I really enjoy it because it already comes with all the templates, and I really suck at UI and design, so it's nice to have something like that. So what I do is I use a theme that was created by the community. You can access these themes on hugothemesfree.com. By the way, all the links will be in the description of this podcast, so no worries about that. And to get some inspiration, I also checked the website from the podcast that I truly love, and it's very similar to mine, which is Startup from Gimlet Media. And I checked their website. The website has basically on the left side an image, the logo, that says startup, and on the right side it says a show about what it's really like to start a business, and then listen on Spotify. So kind of very nice landing page so that people know where they can listen to the show. So I thought, okay, let me try to find something that is similar to this so that I can just adjust. So I was trying to find, I went through all the themes and I found one that I really enjoyed. It's called Hugo Theme Chunky Poster from the GitHub username Pure Syntax 71. And it's really nice. It has already 91 stars and 92 forks. So I thought, okay, that's cool. Let me just use that. So what I do next is I open my terminal and I run the command Hugo new site and then the name of the website, in this case Wannabe Entrepreneur website, and it creates already a skeleton directory with everything you need to run a Hugo website. And then you just go to the themes folder and then you clone the GitHub repository of the theme you just chose, and that's what I did. And then what I did next was going to the example website. So all of these themes have like an example website that you can run. It's basically a demo version of this website. And I just copied the config.toml and I copied that file to the root folder and I ran Hugo serve. And now if I go to localhost 1313, the website is up and running and I can start modifying my theme. Now, if you want to add more content, ideally you can just type Hugo new about, for instance, if you want to create the about page, or Hugo new post and then the name of the post you want to create. And that should work out of the box. I tried that. It didn't work immediately because it kind of depends on the template and the structure of the template. So I had to play around a little bit. I had to check the examples in the site example of the template of the theme. But I was able to figure it out and I was able to create my about page. It's very simple. It basically explains more who I am and what is this podcast about. And then I was working in the homepage. And what I want to do is very similar, as I told you before, to what I've seen in the Startup Gimlet Media website. I just want on the right side a nice image of basically my Wannabe Entrepreneur logo. And on the left side, I want to have a small description of what the podcast is about, and click to action, in my case, is the platforms where people can listen to the podcast. So in the beginning, I was trying to somehow use the same logos that the theme already comes with, because the theme already has an implementation of Font Awesome, which is it's a great library that where you can import a bunch of logos and icons, but it was not working. So since I'm also at the same time as I'm doing this, I'm publishing my development on Twitter, I told that I was having this problem and I was not able to find the icons that I'm looking for, the Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and someone suggested to just go online and find these icons and download them. So basically that's what I did. So I went to icons8.com and they have a lot of nice free icons that I can just use, and that's what I did, and I just basically copy paste the image. I know it's probably not the best way to implement it. I should somehow try to make it work with the current implementation of the theme. But since I don't want to waste too much time with this, at least for now, I just want to make the website. It works super fine, and now I have the logos. So that's really nice. And after that, I worked in the content of the website. So I worked on the About page that basically gives a little bit more information about myself and about the podcast. And I also linked the YouTube video of the pilot episode, the first episode, which is basically only 3 minutes of myself introducing the podcast. And I think it's a great intro for every new listener. And obviously the blog, because I have already written a lot of content that I published in my Medium and also in my Buy Me a Coffee platform, and now I can just copy paste that content to this website, because my main goal with this website is to make it SEO friendly, so that when people are searching on Google for entrepreneurial and startup related content, they will find my podcast. And that's my goal. As I told you in the beginning, I want to have a recurrent source of new users. So I already added 3 blog posts on the website that people now can read, and each blog post is also linked to one episode. So for now, this is it. This is what I have to finish now my work, and I will also be working probably tomorrow in the deployment of this website. I will use Netlify, which allows me to deploy this website for free so that everyone can have access to it. And I have also already bought the domain wannabe-entrepreneur.com that I will be using to link to this website, but that will be another episode. I just want now to describe the website for you, just for you to imagine how it looks like, and then tomorrow when I show it to you, you can see if it matched your imagination. So this is what I see when I open the website. It's a white background. On the top left it says wannabe entrepreneur, and then it has this L shape where on the left it has a big title that says again wannabe entrepreneur, and then it says a podcast about what it's like to bootstrap a company, which is it's the sentence that I use to describe the podcast. And then below that it says listen on, and then you have the icons, which are like, there are some nice icons. It looks that they were kind of draw, and they are black and white icons, and you have Spotify, iTunes, Google, and Pocket Casts. And on the right side you have my wannabe entrepreneur image, which is basically me holding that lamp shape bulb, or that bulb shaped lamp, and with a blue background. And then immediately below that you have the blog posts, and you can actually see 3 little rectangles, and each rectangle has one picture. And then when you scroll down, you can actually also see the titles of the blog post. So the first one says 5 things I considered before quitting my job to follow my passion. And then the other one says 3 questions that can help you decide when to terminate a side project. And finally, the other one says 3 tips to successfully raise money on Kickstarter. And when you go up, you can see the home tab and the about tab. And when you open the about tab, it says about wannabe entrepreneur. There's some description, and then you can immediately also see the YouTube video that I told you before. So basically that's it. Very simple. There's not a lot here. Again, I'm also not a designer, so I know that there are some touches that I probably have to do. I also probably will link here my Buy Me a Coffee platform, and I still have to mix a little bit here and play a little bit with the content, but I'm really happy with the result. And I will actually link little print screen of this so that you don't have to wait for tomorrow, and you can see already if my description actually managed to match what it looks like, so you can go and check it out. And I also did a build on public approach to this, so I've been actually started a thread on Twitter, and I've been writing every step of the way on that thread. That thread will also be linked in the description of this episode, so you can go and check out. And I hope this also helps you if you want to use Hugo. I paste a couple of commands there that you can use, and also a couple of my problems. There are other problems that I didn't paste there, but feel free to just comment if you have any questions, because I can help you with whatever I can. And of course, if you join the Wannabe Entrepreneur Slack channel, there's other developers. There's me, of course, and other developers that are already experienced with Hugo, and then they can also help you out. So if you find this content useful and you want more content like this, you can buy me a coffee. The link will be in the description. And if you don't have money, or you don't want to spend money on the podcast, but you still want to help, it would be amazing if you could share it with your friends that are also entrepreneurs or bootstrappers. That would really help me a bunch. And this was another Wannabe Entrepreneur. See you tomorrow.